Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome to the second of our new games, finally. I've been so excited to play this. It's Hakuoki, Kyoto Wins, made by Idea Factory and Design Factory, the guys behind Amnesia, so you know it's gonna be pretty. I've been wanting to play this for a while. This is a historical fantasy visual novel. We're gonna play as Chizuru, I believe. She's determined to find her father amidst the drama of Kyoto in the Bakumatsu period. And we get to romance 12 different famous samurai of the Shinsengumi as we uncover the dark secrets and come face to face with the mysterious of our past. And, yeah, there is, like a romance ending, an unrequited love ending, I believe, and then a bad ending that you can get. So we're gonna try and go for the best endings. This is also the first of, like, this game got split into two. I think the original game was called Demons of the Fleeting Blossoms, and now it's been split into Kyoto Winds and Edo Blossoms, and I have both, but this is the first part. And I understand there's not too much romance in this, but there is some, and it'll set up the second part of it. So we're gonna treat this like prequel sequel kind of deal. We're gonna just focus on this, and then when this game's done completely, one of the next two games I play will be Edo Blossoms, and then we'll just continue the story from there. So now you already know what one of the next two games I'm playing after this will be. But yeah, why don't we get into this game and see if we can romance a samurai boy. See what happens. Oh, and I could change my name if I want to. Chizuru. Do I want to change it? Trying to think if anything else is calling to me as far as names are concerned. What do you look like to me? Oh, wait a minute. Where's my thing? I had a thing at one point. Where did my thing go? Can I change both of these? Hold on. I'll put this back if I can't. It might be like, oops. It might be like Miss Yukimura. Can I go back up now? I don't want to be blank Yukimura. Oh no. It's so hard to... Because this isn't really set up for the... Yeah, return to the title screen because I hecked up that. We're doing well so far. The controls are not perfect for mouse and keyboard. They're a little doopy. So I need to, like, not move my mouse if I'm gonna try. Oh, I did it again. Crap. Okay. If I... Okay, and then... Okay, there we go. Hey, I got control again. What do I want to call you? Limit up to 10 characters. I kind of want her to be, like, historically accurate because I'm torn. I want to have a unique name, but everyone else is gonna have Japanese names that I'm gonna be butchering terribly. Hold on. I'm gonna take a moment. Let me just... Can I? Hopefully this isn't buggering things up. What? Oh gosh. I actually know the word for this, but I can't think of it right now, so I'm gonna Google it. Oh, Sakura is what I'm thinking of. Right? Yeah, Sakura. Okay. Because cherry blossoms feature heavily. And now I need to do this again, and then... Why? I can't actually... Okay, you know what? All of that was for nothing, because I can't actually put... I can delete, but I cannot put in a name. I'm like typing, but K is doing something, but... Okay, well, the only thing I can do is her default name, guys. Sorry, I was gonna call her Sakura Yukimura, but she's gonna have to be Chizuru because I can't type it in. I don't know if I'm doing something dumb, but I'm just having trouble with the... I even, like, re-keybinded a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully those keybinds will work, but... This game better be darn well written and beautiful after all of this. Alright, Chizuru. Ending name input. Okay, yes, we're ending the name input. We will end that. I'm gonna go hide my thing. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidents mentioned in this work do not have any direct correlation with the actual people, locations, or organizations. Blah. We get it. This product uses words, phrases, and display text that correspond with the era of the narrative. Yes, can we... Thank you. We're moving on. I really wanted to make sure you got to read that, I guess. December. Prologue, 1864. Oh my goodness, it's already gorgeous. Mistakes are forgiven. Already. We're doing well. If that will ever fade away. You can still kind of see the outline of that. Oh boy, come on, game. You can do it. Ooh boy. Buggy, buggy, buggy. Might have to skip to the next bit and then... Okay, finally things loaded in. So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, no denying it. Even simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another, as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Yes? Something making the city feel strangely cold. Almost as though there was a great invisible wall shutting out anyone wandering from the country. I'm not sure if I belong here. No, that's all in my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander and feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to. Excuse me. I hesitantly stopped a passerby. I'm sorry. I seem to be a bit lost. Could you... fade to black? Did I ever find my way? I guess not. We spent the whole day in this street. What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I looked up at the darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I'd needed, but... was now really the best time to leave the city? Learning the person I'd hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. Press down to read terminology. We'll see if that works. The only person besides father I could rely on in the city, who I could rely on, Dr. Matsumoto. Koto Yukimura, a Dutch-educated doctor in service to the shogunate and the father of the protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyoto. Okay. And then... can I... oh. Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor serving the shogunate. A military government run by samurai. In this game it refers to the Tokugawa shogunate. Okay. I had never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. So I can't click on things, I can only use the keyboard. This is very awkward. He had told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was out on business and would not return for some time. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he had left before reading my letter. Perhaps I thought I should have waited for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news. Father. Father. Okay, before we get into the memory. Oh, it's me, the protagonist. The main character of this story. She travels to Kyoto in search of her father, and she consequently finds herself involved with the Shinsengumi.
Chizuru.
Is something wrong, father? He paused for a moment and looked at me.
It seems I must depart for the city of Kyoto.
Is it for business again? He'd left the house often during that period, sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone?
I'm afraid I can't say. A month, perhaps. Maybe 2.
Oh. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go, or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous. That smile. He only smiled and something. I thought that I had to, like, click again. I don't know what... yeah, I don't know what... I can't remember what my, my history key is now. Was it... no, control is it tab? No, that's 4 skip. Skip red. I'm just pressing all kinds of buttons, whatever.
You needn't fret. I will be sure to send you letters often so that you will have no need to worry.
Okay. You promise? And then he faded like a ghost, because he was not there. Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often I scarcely had the time to respond before another would arrive. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Then the letters stopped. A whole month passed with no word. And that's why I'm here now, I guess. Father. They say Kyoto is full of ronin. Samurai who have left their master, or who have been stripped of their privileges. It can also refer to a samurai who does not have a master to serve. Okay. It is not a safe place. Usually a samurai is paid by their house, but refers to the domain or clan that a samurai serves. It can also be used after a fashion to refer to the specific person a samurai serves. Ronin who report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Such is the state of the city of Kyoto. The city of Ronin. Small wonder, then, that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. I've been standing in the street forever. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I'd brought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month if used wisely. Finding father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Matsumoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home without a word. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping a quicker pace than women's. Ah, are we in disguise? Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I'd safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. Oh no. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply to me. Hey, kid. I was about to discover otherwise. Oh no, we got eyeless people again. I forgot about the scary eyeless people of Idea Factory games. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 ronin. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my kodachi. Originally a short katana, by the end of the Edo period it referred to a large wakizashi. It was usually worn as half of a pair with a larger sword such as a katana. Okay. That would be a good size sword for a woman. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I'd kept with them and I did rather well. I was confident enough in defending myself. I mean, against 3, though? However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. I'd messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but there were 3 of them and 1 of me. Ichiro. Pretty nice blade you got there, kid. Only then did I realize they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me. Looks like a bit much for a pup like this, right? Give it here, okay? We'll put it to good use. But this is... The sword wasn't just some blade I picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it to the ronin. Though I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly to retreat. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could. Hey, get back here, you little bastard! Fading out, bye! And now I'm in an alleyway and I'm gonna die here. Crunch, snow. I don't want to click in case it loads. Yep, okay. Patience. I must learn the patience for this game. Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept farther into the alley. Someone left a couple sheets of wood leaning against one of the houses. A perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I'd expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other, looking for me, but... Seconds turned into minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look when... Squish. Ah! What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still... Damn you! Just slicing and dicing.
What is this? Why won't you die? Damn it, we gotta get out of here!
It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there. Something quite possibly lethal. My imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. Peek? Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. Twang, twang! The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes followed it to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than it appeared, my hope vanished.
Help!
I guess that's another bad guy. I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in the blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. Oh. Did that go all over me?
Ah! Ah!
A high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. Okay, we've got an insane person. So, not here to save me. The blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The scream turned wet, caught, and disappeared like air leaving half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I had just witnessed a murder. Any strength I'd received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumbled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. We just can't look away. This music. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh, the silent creep of blood across ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw, animalistic violence. Whatever they were, it wasn't human. They were broken. I could feel my throat clench tightly, and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do? What could I do? Do I have a choice yet? You have to run, Chizuru. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to. Ah! My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I lurched sideways against the stacked wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed. Great, now I know we're here. Oh, that's kind of terrifying. Okay, demon people? What house do you belong to? It will load in eventually. Come on, you potato computer, you can do it. Don't leave me on such a cliffhanger. There we go. The creatures turned, coats drenched in blood. Their eyes locked with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement at prey to slaughter. Ah! I had to run. I couldn't die yet. We just started my story. But my legs refused to move. Their hideous cackling laughter echoed. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. This was it. This was the end. Or the beginning. Did I get some cute samurais to save me? Maybe? What? Oh, now there's blood all over my screen. Thank you. I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it, warm and sticky. Bile began to rise in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice. And wind that carried it. Oh, we got a half a face! Got a half a face, and maybe you first guy? Really? The word suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy. Yep, first guy. And here I was, planning to take care of them all. Can't you have picked another day to work fast, Saito? As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself. Ah, boy number 2. I only did my job. Unlike you, I take no pleasure in battle. Nice. Okay, so we know Saito is our second guy, but who's question mark boy? Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. You don't even bother to deny it. The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at me. Oh. Oh, hello. Maybe, but if you just sat back and let them kill the kid, you could have saved us some trouble. His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker. Perhaps. That decision is not ours to make. Huh? The only question you can ask at a time like this. Huh? Then, who was in charge of these two? Their conversation led me to believe they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. Ah! What? What's with the flapping of fabric? My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. Who's sliding? Sliding, fading. Am I passing out? I see a shadowy figure. Whoa. That music. Wow, you have beautiful eyes. Yeah, I'm with Chizuru on this. Oh. I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower petals. It was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season. Wow, such poetry. Luck is not your friend tonight. His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them, I could catch a glimpse of something else. There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy? Run and I will kill you. Do you understand? I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced and put his sword away, sighing. Okay. Well, we've met our first 3 boys. That's a quarter of the guys already. What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one. What? Wait, Hijikata, are you sure about this? This kid saw everything. That can't be good. As he spoke to the man he called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called Hijikata frowned back at him. Shut up. If you keep that up, you know what we're going to have to do. It was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. You mean demon eyeball guys? The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing. I really think it's gonna come back to bite us in the ass if we let this kid go. The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind. So we should just kill people now? No. I'll see what to do with this kid when we get back. I agree with the commander. If we remain here, we are likely to be seen. Again. Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed as though he'd forgotten the whole ordeal. If they have this sort of reaction to blood, then they don't seem like they'll be very practical. Damn. He peered down at the corpse, his face an emotionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed. He glared at them for a good 2 seconds. As for you two, drop the Hijikata and Commander act. Keep a low profile. What? Come on, you can't be serious. Aren't our blues a bit of a giveaway? He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors. My mind swirled through a pool of worries and thoughts, almost as if I was being drawn into their world. A world where there is nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with corpses for company. What shall we do with the bodies, then? There doesn't seem to be any physical signs. Hijikata thought for a moment before he spoke. Just take their blues. Yamazaki can deal with the rest. As you wish. Another man cut down in the street, huh? Doing a great job, aren't we? He gave a derisive bark of laughter. So long as we keep our mouths shut, I don't think anyone will know we were here. They said, fading away. He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city, after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen? That was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad. Oh, hello, close boy number 1, whose name I still don't know. Ah, yes. We did save you, didn't we? Huh? I didn't realize right away he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean you saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. Then I got thwacked? I stood up as steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Ah, that was the bowing sound. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on. I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hijikata looked as though he'd taken a bite of something sour. I sighed deeply before continuing. I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so I... Oh, a smile. I looked up. Saito and Hijikata both stared pointedly at anything but me, and the third man was shaking with laughter. Oh, man. Well, my apologies. I certainly did tell you to, didn't I? He broke out in laughter again, so much so that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up. Well, you're... sorry. I got the voices mixed up. I'm like, oh, I'm getting your... I'm so used to him being just question mark, and now he's, like, telling me his name. Well, you're welcome. I'm Soji Okita. Nice to see a kid who knows how to be polite. Thank you for helping me. The kid. Not quite sure what else to do, I bowed again. Well, we're starting off well. The one you should be thanking for saving you is Hajime Saito over here. And this bossy guy here is... Don't say the name again. We've talked about this. What the hell do you think you're doing, Okita? Sir, I read your concerns, but we must move. Whatever mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. We gotta get out of here. The man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. There was no question about my situation. Hostage time. I quickly picked up on the notion that if I were to run, I would be killed. Instantly. My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept up from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze. It would be best if you prepared for the worst. I doubt this will end well for you. Thanks for the inspiring words of confidence. His words were like a dagger in my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? Me? As we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. Did we get out of Kyoto for a bit? Okay. You know what? I think that's a good place to stop for now. So, okay, we got introduced to the three, and it looks like Soji Okita is going to be our first boy. And we haven't had a choice yet, but hopefully we'll get to that soon and we'll get into the story. So, looks like we're in a bit of a sticky wicket, but hopefully things will turn around soon for us and we can get on these guys' good side, right? So I hope you're enjoying it so far, and until next time, I will see you later.